And just like that, we are back. Doug Smith alongside Rachel Drummond. Rachel, it is the finale. It is coming down the stretch. I tell you, it feels like yesterday I met you and we kicked off this whole soiree with the TrackMan Next Tour, and now it's coming to an end.
I'm sad, Doug. It's been a journey. I've never met you before, but I feel like we've known each other for about 20 years. It's a beautiful thing.
First of all, we're besties. We just haven't met in person. That's all. Don't just make sure you don't hate me when you see me.
I feel like that with the players as well, because we've seen them on the journey from the start, and I even went to Copenhagen and met some of them personally, and it's great to see how, this next golf tour's changed their lives, literally.
One thing when we started this kind of whole journey together, we knew that there's opportunities on the line, but now that we've gone through each round and being able to talk to players, to hear and see how their financial situation has changed, some have more confidence to go into their seasons, and that I think that's one thing that I may have underestimated before coming in here, is how these players would win and how literally their lives would change.
Get out!
The 100 best players are still in it, and they'll take on Concession Golf Club for the Next Golf Tour Season 2 finale, and it all concludes on Saturday, March the 16th, and Doug and I, we're going to be watching it till the very end. And you and I will have the privilege of doing the live show on YouTube, and we get to crown the lucky tournament champion and the season-long winner. The tournament winner will take home $30,000 and the season-long Order of Merit champion will receive a $15,000 bonus. 3 sponsors exemptions into the challenge events and 1 for a DP World event.
And Rachel, while we're talking about the Order of Merit, let's take a little quick peek. Bump Carlson taking the top spot at the moment. Nick, had a chance to catch up with Nick last week, man. What a cool guy. And Rachel, it's about the stories, it's about the stories and where these guys and gals are coming from, how they're using this tour to their advantage. And so these top 10 players still have a chance to win the entire situation, the entire season-long race. But some of them need a lot of shots to kind of go in their way. So let's take a look at this purse breakdown for the finale. Rachel, $100,000 in the purse for the finale. Only 100 players in this field, 30 grand going to the winner of this week's round. What's your thoughts here? What are you thinking about this money, Rach?
Well, the bottom 3, Osland, Pettersson and Gadarsson, will need to win, and Cabriles and Jacobson need a win also, because it's going to get interesting. It's going to be down to the final wire, isn't it? To see who wins and takes the cash.
I mean, you look at that Bump Carlson, just about $51,000 made. And I talked to Jonathan Goth Rasmussen last week as well. And everybody is just ready to play some G. And it's going to be a sprint to the final. But the bottom 3, like you said, they have to take the championship. Koivu and Lilliedahl, they need a top 2 finish to even vie for that top spot. So a lot of drama, a lot of scenarios that can happen. What if they all don't have the day that they hope and this whole thing gets switched up and around? So looking forward to how this plays out.
Lilliedahl, I met him personally, so you can't have favourites, but when you hear the story and you got a little personal, well, no, I don't. I do not have a favourite, Doug. We caught up with some of the players in the top 10, and let's hear from our leader, Nick Carlson, who won the final regular season event at Innisbrook Copperhead course, and we asked him what it meant to have won the $50,000 in the latest event.
50 grand is going to help me along the way, but yeah, up until this point, it's paycheck to paycheck. If you play well in an event, then I can go play in the next event. If I play well in that one, I can go play in the next one.
Is it going to be more of an exhalation for you, where it's whew, or when that money hits, it's going to be finally I got some cheese, let's go play some shit? How are you planning to manage this situation?
Yeah, a bit of both, honestly. I get to sign up for, whatever it might be, 3 events, 4 events, so that I have a set schedule, and then I'm ready to go. And then on the other hand, I also get to guarantee myself that I get to play in DP World Q School again.
I like how you call it cheese. But you see the passion. And it means that, he can go to play in Q School again. Like, this is massive for these guys. We had a lot of back and forth about no Americans at the top of the leaderboard. And we hadn't had a winner. But now we have two. Not one, two. And Nick Carlson was the second one. But earlier on in the season, we also had Jordan Webber, who won round 4 at the PGA West Stadium course. And he is now in third on the Order of Merit. $5,500 behind Carlson. We asked him what it would mean to win the Order of Merit and the sponsors exemptions. Never seen those balloons before in my life.
I think my game's better than it's ever been, so who knows? Maybe I could compete with some of the best players. And so it definitely has revitalized my career. I definitely want to go out and give it a shot in a few tournaments and see what happens.
There may be an opportunity either on Corn Ferry Tour or PGA Tour where somebody's like, hey, we want this guy to play. What does all this even mean? Or do you even let your mind go there?
I shouldn't, but I have. I have some friends pushing me. I sent a letter to the John Deere Classic to see if maybe I could get a sponsor exemption into that one. And it would mean the world to me. I mean, it's been a dream of mine to compete on a major tour since I was a little kid. I'm going to give it everything I got. I've been practicing hard. I'm doing all the little things. I'm trying to do everything right because I want to do well and I want to have that chance. So it's getting everything from me right now.
Sweden's Oliver Lilliedahl was the first winner of the season, getting it done at the Ryder Cup venue Marco Simone. In round 1, we also caught up with him.
I mean, first of all, to win an Order of Merit on this tour, this worldwide tour, it would mean a lot to go down. And like, if you're trying to make it on the biggest stage, this is definitely a route to go. In terms of like this coming season outdoors, with the some of the invitations that's given to the Order of Merit winner, it would be huge. It would be some doors opening for me. You want to have as many chances on the biggest stage as possible to learn, but also hopefully establish yourself there in the future. So it would mean the world.
Oliver's got his fan club there watching him. When I played on this tour, chipping is the hardest thing ever, so he made that look very, very easy. Now, let's not forget the ladies. Even though none of my ladies have had the chance to win the Order of Merit, there is still plenty to play for. 3 are playing in the finale, and the best female player at the end will win membership of the Annika Women's All-Pro Tour and free entry to 3 Annika WAPT events during the 2024 season. That is massive because entry fees, as we know, are bloody expensive.
We have to switch gears because everything has prepared us for this final round, if you will, and we're going to Concession. Of course, I've played. It is not an easy golf course, so the 18-hole finale of Season 2 will take place at the Concession Golf Club, which is just south of Tampa, Florida, here in the U.S. of A. And this is the site of the 2021 WGA Championship that was won by Colin Morikawa and named after the 1969 Ryder Cup competition between Jack Nicklaus and Tony Jacklin, where they famously conceded the last putt. And then we had co-champions at Ryder Cup that year. So this course was kind of named in commemoration of that selfless act by both the European Tour team and the U.S. team, captained, like I said, by Jack Nicklaus and Tony Jacklin. It said, I don't believe you would have missed the putt, but I'd never have given you the opportunity under these circumstances, which was what was said in the press conference post-round about the concession of the final putt there. And I tell you what, I'm always looking forward to everything, but this course and what it brings, the challenges that are offered here are going to test every single player, because these putts on this golf course, Rachel, they break up, down, left, right, and you have to be strategic as well off the team. And so that famous act between Jacqueline and Nicholas became known as the Concession, and then they teamed up together to co-design their only, joint effort there in the Southwest Florida. And I mean, how cool is the name? You got two guys coming together. They conceded a putt to each other, and now we're going to play our finale on that hallowed ground known as Concession Golf Club. Boom!
Okay, we are now being joined by Ben Cowen, the Chief Tournament Business Officer at the European Tour Group. Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Are you in sunny or cold England right now?
I'm in cold England, having just come back from sunny Greece, so it's a bit of a shock to the system.
Ben, let's open this chat with you telling us a little bit about your role at the European Tour Group.
Yes, so as the Chief Tournament Business Officer, I oversee basically all responsibilities to do with tournament side of the business. So anything from the rules, the staging of our events, the player relations department.
What was your first reaction when you learned about the next golf tour?
I was very excited about the innovation, the innovative side of it. I mean, we're the DP World Tour has historically been sort of well known for its innovation, and I kind of felt we are about creating pathways for the new stars, and this was just another pathway, and I felt that with the technology that you have in simulator golf now is so sophisticated and realistic. I mean, it's incredible how that has developed over the years to where we are today. It just seemed like a sort of a really great idea, and so many of our players on tour use TrackMan as part of their practice, and so it just had this natural fit.
All right, Rach, we've got Mark Baldwin coming in here. He's a contributor for Monday Q. He's going to come talk a little bit about playing on the next tour because he is a competitor right here. We've asked him to come talk to us about his experience playing on the tour and how he views the opportunities that this tour is providing and what it's bringing to players. For Mr. Baldwin, where have we found you this morning?
I'm home in Mesa, Arizona. My little dude, he's 3 years old. He had kind of a rough night, as 3-year-olds sometimes do, and so I've been relegated outside here for a cold morning chat, but it's great. It's great to see you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, now that I know we live in the same vicinity, you and I are definitely going to have to get together and play, because here's the thing. I saw you make the ace at the Gatimba course there in round 3, and one, I feel like you owe me a drink. Let's just say that, number one. But number two, how expensive was that hole-in-one?
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because that acknowledges that the hole-in-one is actually an official hole-in-one. Fine as to whether that was the case or not. So you got it. And depending on the drink bill is only as expensive as you. You're the only one who's asked.
All right, well, I want my damn drink. It'll be relatively inexpensive as we take a look at it here on the split screen. Let's go back. Let's talk about this reaction and how this shot came off and how it felt.
Yeah, I think it was a 192-yard 7-iron. It was a bit downhill. I think the wind was maybe a little bit. I think it was a little bit off the left, actually, and I just hit a big, high, kind of hard draw. And the wind just held it enough. It started turning, and I thought it might get left of the flag, but the wind just held it, and then it just never really left the flag. So it looked pure the whole way. And, a couple of bounces and then some sort of primitive bird call.
As you contribute to Monday Q and you're starting to see some of these players, where do you think the opportunity at Next Tour kind of sits with these mini tour players?
I think if you look at some of the players who have had success in even one event, it really has been season changing for them. And it's also made them rethink how they're going to pursue their season. So if you look at, Emma Thorngren, when she shot 10 under at PGA West, she didn't know how she was going to pay for her LET membership this year. Like, she didn't think she was going to have a season at all. And that round comes and it changes the course of the entire outlook for her season. Then there's someone like Oliver Lilliedahl, who he would have already been playing. He would have already been playing on his green grass season, but because he won that first event at Marco Simone, he all of a sudden now wanted to think about how do I give myself the best chance to win the money list on the next tour, and the discussion or the choice becomes which is the more valuable experience here. I think he's trying to do both, but mainly with the focus on the next tour. So it really has been season changing for so many players. And look at a guy like Vince India. Okay, I played with Vince often on Korn Ferry Tour. Vince he's been on a suspension, like a 6-month suspension from the PGA Tour, and he's scheduled to come back at the end of March. He's had nowhere to play, and I think he lives in Chicago, so he's been fine-tuning his game and getting ready to get back in the saddle and go chase the PGA Tour down again. I mean, the dude is an unbelievable ball striker, and so I think he's had success on the next tour. And you see like the ball striking prowess there, but it's given him the competitive feels that he'll take out into the season when his season starts again. So, yeah, I mean, I think it is potentially season changing for a lot of players. And the Danish player, was it Gothres Rasmussen, right? Like, he's been playing well on DP World Tour. After starting his year. Yeah. And I mean, there's so many examples like that. I think it gives you a jump start to the season, put some money in the bank, potentially, take some of the stress off. And, maybe even you kind of get in this mentality of playing a little more aggressive, thinking about things like spin access, and, maybe you get some feels about, okay, what's my attack angle here? You get really deep into the kind of the technical weeds on that when you're practicing.
Yeah, I can see how that could happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of those things are really good for the season experience, and also things that you probably as a player don't think about that frequently in the off season. So it's really just an incredible jump start to the season for a lot of players.
Man, always dope to get a chance to catch up with Mark. I always forget that he lives like right down the street. So Mark, we're going to go play some G pretty soon, and what a guy. And make sure for all your, up and coming player information, you go check out mondayq.com.
Honestly, Dougie, I cannot wait to see who takes the final win of the season and to see who ends up with the Challenge Tour and DP World Tour exemptions. And of course, the leading lady with the Annika WAPT membership and entry into all the events. And I'm going to have my bourbon and tequila ready.
That's it. And I'm going to be right there cheersing you like this. And you know what? We should probably call Annika to see if she wants to come in here and talk to us during that finale to see who's going to play on her tour. Because, Rachel, we've seen hole-in-ones, hole-outs. We've seen long drives. We've seen people win the Order of Merit Championship. Actually, we haven't seen that yet, which is why I'm counting it down. This season, unfortunately, is coming to a close. But now we're going to switch from the indoor virtual scenario to the green grass. Who's going to win those exemptions? We're going to see who's next very soon.